Good day. Welcome to News at Noon on Kaieteur Radio. I'm Vince Smith. Guyana oil production is expected to surpass that of Hess Corporation's profitable back in North Dakota U.S. asset. And like company executives, internal analysts are also encouraging investors to bet on the hefty profits that have been projected for the future. Seeking Alpha, a financial institution with over 100 employees who provide data and analysis on the global financial market, was keen to note that Guyana holds massive potential for returns on oil production. It said Hess Corporation reported an adjusted third quarter 2022 earnings of $1.89 per share, beating again analysts' expectation this quarter. Meanwhile, President Jagdo is of the view that the 8% increase in wages by the PPC is enough for public servants, given the slew of measures implemented by the administration to cushion inflation. Jagdo was adamant that had his government not reversed those tax measures, Guyanese would have been harder hit by the cost of living, currently affecting countries across the globe. The Vice President also boasted that the PPP managed to distribute some $6 billion to 200,000 school children this year. He was also keen to note that pensioners also received an increase of $8,000 this year, while some 11,000 Guyanese who were formerly unemployed, are now benefiting from part-time jobs. Now, the $1 million contract on Sunday signed between the Ministry of Public Works and Modern Construction and Trucking Services for the upgrade to the Blacker Bridge. The Blacker Bridge is a critical public access between Sophia and Georgetown. A commitment was made to have a sturdy bridge put in place of the current one, which has been in a deplorable state for some time. Armed bodies on Saturday snatched the salary of 3 female security guards just after that our security comes up as an security is barred that $500 stolen the women said that they raised their pay gun on them. We learned robbery plays a role in investigations are going. And on the opposition is yet to respond to a he received from Ministry of Natural Resources indicating that the equal nominated candidates sit on the committee. Recently said the opposition Washington has not acknowledged a sent by the minister in the instead keep it local and at 21. And Joe had trick. November 19th accident on the Republic East claimed a second life. That is 19-year-old Ricardo Singh, a Fowler village, East Coast Demerara. Singh's death comes weeks after 18-year-old Sudesh Mahadio reportedly succumbed on the scene of the accident. Singh, who was the driver of a motor car at the time of the accident, along with 19-year-old Kamal Rauti, were listed as critical while being hospitalized at the Georgetown Public Hospital. However, last Thursday, Singh succumbed to his injuries. The time has now moved on to 12 hours 20 in Guyana. We'll take a short break and return with your news.
You don't have to be a fountain of knowledge to help children with their schoolwork while they're at home. But you do have to be caring, understanding, loving, and patient. It's an unsettling time for everyone, but children still need a safe and secure environment. So don't overwhelm them with endless news items or problems. Keep them gainfully occupied and amused, exercised and rested. Protect our children. A message from the Child Care and Protection Agency, Ministry of Human Services and Social Security, and UNICEF.
Welcome back. Let's continue with the news. In 2021, the sum of $552 million was allotted for the provision of subventions to municipalities and neighborhood democratic councils. According to the Auditor General's report for 2021, the appropriation accounts revealed the amounts totaling $551.4 million was expended. However, it was pointed out in the report that municipalities continued to breach the Municipal and District Councils Act, which stipulates that all accounts of municipal and district councils be made up yearly to the end of the financial year by the treasurer of the council and shall be so made up not later than 4 months after the end of such year to which they relate, and for those accounts to be audited by the auditor as soon as practicable. Meanwhile, Alder Friday woke up and found his common law wife dead next to him hours after he had reportedly beaten her during an alleged altercation. Their first evidence was that the woman was identified as 43-year-old Umadai Lal, better known as Samantha, the mother of their 2-year-old son. The welder, according to police, has since admitted to beating the woman on Thursday night before going to bed. He is currently in police custody, assisting with the investigation. And attorney-at-law Nigel Hughes is among several stakeholders and concerned citizens accusing the government of concentrating large portions of their country's resources. One group composed of affiliates support of the PPC. But the government has maintained over the years it has been even had in its administration of the country. This year, Minister of Works and allegations government contracts are being awarded to a particular section of society. He said that the awarding of government contracts is done through a transparent, accountable, and fair process in keeping with the Public Procurement Act and regulations. And move on, Chief Engineer of the APNUFC, Carl Joseph Smith, that should be Carl Joseph, has brought a lawsuit against GCOM, the Chief Election Officer, and the Attorney General, seeking over 14 declarations and 4 orders intended to nullify the preliminary list of electors and give rise to a new register of voters before a local government election is held. The APNUAFC has long expressed major concerns over the compilation of the voters list on the basis that it is bloated with dead people and thousands of Guyanese that have migrated. And that is time we close things off with the page 7 of today's Kaieteur News, dedicated to being blunt. A tanker full of trouble. It's a new day in Guyana, but with the same backward politicians and bureaucrats. A tanker crashed into the Demerara Harbor Bridge, and it was allowed to leave without depositing $1, despite causing over $1 billion in damages. Who do we have running this country? Men without brain, bureaucrats without backbone, or criminals joining with foreigners to plunder us at will? Americans, Chinese, Russians, now Panamanians. Guyanese must stand up for their rights and protest this state of lawlessness. And that brings us to the end of today's News at Noon. I'm Kevin Smith. Thank you for listening. And that's the news of the moment. Remember to get the full details of these stories, pick up a copy of the Kaieteur News. And don't forget, you can catch us on the MyTuner app as well as the Radio Garden app. You can also keep up to date by liking our Facebook page at Kaieteur Radio and subscribing to our YouTube channel, Kaieteur Radio Livestream. Oh,
It's
also
Friday,
catch
the
our
2nd day
stream
of
at
December.
www.kaieteur.com.